Yeah, so I'm just gonna skip any intro I had planned here because intros are boring and I just want to get to the exciting stuff. By the way, this is part 2 of a 3-part series, so make sure you've watched part 1 first. Jumping right into the action, let's annoyingly crush Beat again. If you watched part 1, you would know that Beat's Solos is immune to all of our attacks, so I just throw a bunch of spites and swaggers at it until it goes down from living too long. Since this takes forever, he winds up taking Napper and Humba down with him. Not that we needed Humba, but I know we'll lose if I don't have Napper, so I redo it without Napper dying. Anyway, then I Toxic Gothita, and even though Beat attempts to save her, he stupidly uses a super potion instead of a full heal, so she goes down all the same. Then Brentilda also gets a Toxic gain on Hatina, and after a very long battle of trying to keep Brentilda alive, Confusion takes her down. After Croctus finishes Hatina off, Ponyta is last out, and Target's in can't take a hit, so Napper is forced to sacrifice himself for a curse, leaving Croctus as our last hope to stall this battle out. In some way, somehow, we get lucky enough for Confusion to stop Ponyta from attacking twice in a row when one hit would have lost us the battle, finishing Beat off. That would have been torture if I had to redo the Solosis fight for a third time. Anyway, we walk further into the cave and find Kabu with a Carkol, even though he never uses one on his team. And it's not even like he couldn't fit it in because he's only got 3 Pokemon. I mean, I guess he only wanted fully evolved Pokemon on his team, but that seems like he's bullying the Carkol species. Anyway, before we take on the Steam Engine Disrespector himself, we have his gym challenge to get through. Oh, and also Marnie, who pretty much solely goes down to Targetzan's curse, except Morpeko, who I decided to send Chuffy out for, which turned out to be a very bad mistake because Flame Body kicked in and I was forced to wait out the slow downfall of the small rodent. Then before I enter the gym, I ditch Humba for Stony because Stealth rocks, and now it's actually time for the gym mission. Here we get to catch a Pokemon, specifically a Litwick. Something I didn't realize when I ran into this little guy is that he has 2 immunities because of the ability Flash Fire, so it practically can't die. So I catch her, name her Motzand, and go fight Kabu. In case you were wondering, I made the decision to remove Targetzan from my party, which considering his recent victory over Marnie and the fact that he is 20 times more useful than Chuffy, I can't quite explain that decision now. Having thought of some master plan that didn't involve Targetzan, of which I don't remember, I start off the gym battle with Stony Stealth Rocks. Then I send out Motzand to take care of Ninetales, and I realize that I don't have Curse, and in fact have Hex, so I'll just skip to the part where we lose. Napper and Brentilda go down to Ninetales and Arcanine respectively, then Chuffy goes down to a Flutterby, and even though Centiskorch is already half beat from Stealth Rocks and Confusion, Croctus goes down and Motzand runs out of every useful move she has. But no, we don't get finished off. Kabu goes for every possible smokescreen and coil, and then uses useless smokescreens, forcing me to throw Pokeballs at him until he finally lets us lose. Would just like to say, we would have totally won if Targetzan was on the team. Anyway, turns out that Motzand can't learn Curse yet, so I teach her Minimize and go fight Kabu again. Basically, I plant Stealth Rocks, then Toxic Ninetales, switch it to Motzand, who can't be hit because of Flash Fire, then do the same for Arcanine, and finish off Centiskorch with a Curse. Take that, you Carkol hater. Ooh, that was lame. Now that we beat the Fire Gym, we get a TM for Will-O-Wisp, and because it's copyright, I can't show you me teaching it to Chuffy, Motzand, and Napper. So let's move on to this random trainer. You know, the one that just spams Metronome until they oh no, it's got Magic Guard. Yeah, Route 6 is an absolute pain, mostly because Dugtrio here have Arena Trap, forcing me to waste like 10 minutes killing them only to run into another one 2 steps later. Anyway, on the bright side, we can get another team member here. Hippotas can learn Stealth Rocks and Roar, which is a deadly combination in any battle. It's also got Sandstream, which can add a little extra damage for us. So I grab one, name it Vile, and since it's our new Stealth Rocks user, I box Stony. Then I run around the wild area until I find a Watt Trader with the TR for Stealth Rocks and teach it to Vile immediately. Then I get her up to level 32 where she learns Roar. And after grabbing some items around Stone's side, I realize Hop is depressed, so I guess we should crush him into the ground. How that's going to help, I don't know. But I start Vile's career off with Stealth Rocks as Cramorant goes for Dive. Then I switch into Brentilda to take the dive on the next turn, and even though Pluck hits for big damage, we manage a Toxic. And hey, we got a harmless ability on Cramorant here. Turns out Gulp Missile only works for damaging moves. Anyway, Cramorant goes down and I send out Napper to get a curse on Robot. Not kidding, that's what my script says. Thank you, autocorrect. We get a curse on Raboot, leaving Napper to go down. He uses a super potion, but spends those extra turns using agility. Weird strategy, but okay. Robot goes down, and next I Toxic Silicobra, but it's got Shed Skin, so I get it out of here. I keep roaring, getting some decent damage in, but eventually Vile goes down, so I send out Motsand to get in 3 minimizes and spam Will-O-Wisp, Confuse Ray, and Attract. And even though Silicobra is infatuated, confused, and at -6 accuracy, it somehow still hits a brutal swing and takes Motsand down. But how though? It's gotta be like a 1 in 30 chance. Someone wanna do the math on that? Anyway, I send Chuffy out to finish it off, but it sheds skins at like 1 HP and we go down because it hits another move at -6 accuracy. Thankfully, Croctus is able to finish it off with Confusion, damaging Hop's self-esteem once again. Now it's time for the Ghost Gym, and we managed to get pretty much our whole team to Gengar, who single-handedly kills that whole team. So that's fun. Yeah, it's time to grind. I get Vile and Chuffy to evolve, and I get Curse on Motsand. During the grind, I catch a G-Max Snorlax, and I wasn't recording because I didn't think I was going to catch it, but I did, so I put my newly named Conga in for Croctus. Then I switch some items around, and I teach Chuffy Stealth Rocks. Now let's try again. Napper gets a curse in on Yawmask and just narrowly survives a brutal swing. Then I send out Chuffy to set up Stealth Rocks, and Yawmask goes down. Then I keep Chuffy in for Cursula, trying to get it to use Curse, but it's got Ancient Power, so we go down. Then I just have Brentilda Toxic him, and he goes down all the same. For Mimikyu, I send out Napper, but we're slower, so we go down. And I send out Vile to Sand Attack it until it's safe to send Motsand out, where I burn it and spam Minimize until it goes down. Gengar comes out and I attract him, but he hits us despite +6 evasion and infatuation. Luckily, we survive and get a curse in, then I send out Conga to stall him out until Gengar and Alistair both go down. But there's no breaks here because suddenly Beat is a wanted criminal, so it's time to take him down. I don't want to deal with Dewosion, so I roar him out and in comes Gothorita, who I Toxic, and even though Conga's got a crazy special defense stat, he goes down during the stall. Then Dewosion comes back in and I send out Motsand, who uses all 3 minimizes, but then goes down to 2 Psybeams in a row. Okay, that was weird, but Vile gets 6 Sand Attacks in, and surely he's not gonna get hit. Nope. We get hit by 4 more Psybeams, taking Vile down and hurting Chuffy badly. I'm gonna mention it now because it comes up a lot later, but this hitting multiple times in a row thing at -6 accuracy must be some sort of glitch because it winds up happening a lot. Anyway, Dewosion goes down, and even though most of our team is down, it's all good because we can Toxic Ponyta. Oh no, we can't. So I send Chuffy back in, get a Will-O-Wisp and 6 Smokescreens in, then go down to 2 Psybeams in a row. What the heck? And another, and another. I don't know who programmed this game's accuracy checks, but I'll be the first one to say they did it wrong. Thankfully, Hatchram is easy with Toxic and Moonlight. Once he's beat, Bede gets arrested for hacking the Pokemon game, and we never need to see him again. Now in Balamlea, I don't know how to say that word, I pick up the TM for Rest and teach it to Conga before jumping right into the gym. And it's an easy one. Early Stealth Rocks, then Roar brings Alcremie in early, we stall out its Gigantamax, roar it out again, and we get Wheezing. Who takes Motsand low after a curse, but we survive with minimizes, avoiding Mawile's Draining Kiss, then getting another curse, taking us both down. Then Napper takes Togekiss down with him, and Flame Body kicks in on Alcremie, winning us a slow victory, but a victory nonetheless. With the 5th badge in hand, I doom myself to an eternity with Opal as we walk back to Hammerlock. But Hop gets in my way again, so it's time to get him crushed. I have Vile out first, so I put down Stealth Rocks as Trevenant goes for Horn Leech. Hop gloats about how smart he is, but he soon realizes that Vile has the Rocky helmet and starts to regret his decision to battle me. Anyway, I know that Hop has a few fire types on his team, so I use Roar and bring out Heatmor for some easy damage.
Then his Snorlax comes out and wastes turns going for Stockpile, but eventually takes Vile down. So I send Napper out, and man, I am so dumb. For some reason, I waste turns going for Confuse Ray and Will-O-Wisp until we get hit by a Heavy Slam. Then I go for Curse, but another Heavy Slam takes him down. If I had just started with Curse, Napper could have survived. Anyway, Snorlax eventually goes down, so I send Motsand to take on his Cinderace. I curse, go down, and switch into Conga, who takes big damage from multiple Pyro Balls and goes down. No, I'm kidding. We've got Rest, and Cinderace wastes his life trying to break us. Then Toxic takes Heatmor and Boltund down, and Trevenant gets burned by Chuffy, so yeah, we win against Hop. Again. I do some more item switches, but then I head straight for Melanie, and we lose, because our whole team is weak to Lapras. So I try to go grind, but we've reached the point in the game where max raids are starting to get really difficult. I tried this GMAX Gengar raid for about an hour, only to come out with no success. So we need a new strategy. I go in with Napper and curse Frostmoth, but stay in, causing Napper to go down. Then I remember that this is the Ice Gym, so Stealth Rocks destroy, and I send out Vile to set him up. Then I realize that Frostmoth is quad weak to rock, so I roar it out as it goes for Feather Dance. Not sure how moths have feathers, but okay. Lapras comes out early, and this is actually really good. Conga hasn't taken any damage, so I send him out to successfully stall all of Lapras' moves until it struggles itself to death. Frostmoth comes out again, but it actually doesn't, and in comes Darmanitan. I have Bruntilda Toxic it, and it taunts us, so I switch out to Conga, who can take G-Max moves, but apparently not Icicle Crash. I send out Chuffy, but he gets taunted, so I send Vile out, who barely hangs on with 23 HP from an Icicle Crash. Remember how I said early Lapras was good? That's why. But even with our tattered team, she's only got Ice Cube left, so a Toxic and a bit of stalling takes him down, winning us the gym battle. Although I will point out that his primary gimmick, Ice Face, doesn't work here either, like Gulp Missile and Disguise from earlier. Nevertheless, we beat her, and from that victory, Motsand finally evolves. Something I'll point out here is that Pokemon don't evolve when you lose a battle, or at least when you white out. I'd actually be curious to see if they evolve when you lose one of the first two hot battles, seeing as you don't white out when you lose those. Anyway, I'm pointing this out because we evolved one level later than we should have because we lost when we gained that level. But that's all besides the fact, because did you know that during the Sirchester exposition dump in this restaurant, you can write this Bob guy into Galar's history? No joke. Moving on with the story, Hop's angry that he had to pay for my meal, so he battles me for his money back. And I shouldn't even have to say this anymore, but he loses. Badly. Double and Snorlax both go down to a curse from Napper, Pincurchin defeats Vile as we set up Stealth Rocks, but Toxic later and he goes down. Then Cinderace literally cannot hit Motsand, and so he goes down to a curse, and then Corviknight goes down to a burn. I'm not even gonna play it up. Hop sucks in this game, and I think that's why most people criticize it for being too easy, because 50% of the major battles are just Hop with his sucky team. I mean, even in a challenge like this, where I literally have to wait 10 minutes to knock out every Pokemon, he only managed to take down 2 of mine, not even by himself. But lastly for this video, I grabbed the Dust Stone from Stow-on-Side and evolved Motsand into her final form. In part 3, we'll be finishing up this challenge, so keep an eye out for it. I'll probably put it up next Sunday. Until then, I'll be posting a second video every week, so make sure you watch those if you want to, and remember to leave challenge suggestions in the comments. If you think a challenge is too crazy, put it there anyway. You'd be surprised at what I'm willing to do. Last thing, like the video if you want to see more of these types of challenges, and subscribe so you know every time one of them gets posted. That's all for now, though, so thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.